Stop scrolling, just for a moment. What if I told you there's a single word that can protect your energy, save you from burnout, and stop people from quietly taking advantage of you? It's simple, it's uncomfortable, and most of us are afraid to use it. Today, I'm telling you what that word is and why it might change from the day to night. In a quiet little town in Indiana with long green fields and old wooden houses, there lived a man named Chris. This felt like one of those tales for life, a simple English story that slowly stays with you long after it ends. Everyone knew Chris. If a bike chain snapped, they called Chris. If boxes needed lifting, they knocked on Chris's door. If someone felt lonely at night, they went straight to Chris's house. This is the kind of inspirational life story people don't realize they're living until they're already exhausted. And Chris never said no. Never. He smiled every time and said,
"Of course I'll help."
He believed helping others made him a good man, and the town praised him for it.
And hey, if this story felt personal, that's probably not an accident. Tap like, share the vibe, and subscribe so the next one finds you right on time.
This is how learning to say no never entered his life, and how stop being available for everyone became impossible for him. Slowly, without him noticing, his life stopped being his. His garden stayed half-cleaned, his windows stayed broken, his roof needed repair, his problems kept growing.
Thanks, Chris.
Yet every day, he was out fixing everyone else's life. This is a life-changing story in English many people live without realizing it. Every night, he came home tired, dirty, exhausted. His mother would look at him and softly say,
Chris, you help everyone.
But why does no one help you?
Chris always gave the same small smile.
It's okay, Mom. One day, they'll remember my kindness.
But that day never came, because kindness without limits often leads to mental peace being lost and respecting your time being forgotten. One evening, the sky turned dark. Strong winds filled the town. A storm was coming. People rushed outside to save their gardens and tools. Chris ran out too, not to save his own things, but to help his friend Mike. They covered Mike's equipment. They moved everything into the shed. But Chris's own garden stayed outside, uncovered, unprotected. Then the storm hit. Heavy rain, wild wind. By the time Chris got home, his garden was destroyed. He sat on the steps, soaked, silent, staring at what he had lost. This moment captures a deeply emotional story about saying no, even when no words are spoken. His mother placed the towel on his shoulder and whispered,
Today, you saved everyone's things except your own.
Chris didn't answer, but inside him, his heart broken. The next morning, confused and tired, Chris walked to the edge of town. There lived Mr. Johnson, a retired teacher, quiet and wise. Chris sat beside him and said,
I help everyone, but I feel empty. Not tired from work, tired from people. Why does kindness feel like it's breaking me?
This was the beginning of real learnings. Mr. Johnson looked at the river and said,
Chris, this river gives water to everything. Trees, birds, farms. But when the river forgets its limits, what happens?
Chris said quietly,
It floods.
Yes, my child, that is true. Kindness with boundaries keeps life balanced. Without them, you destroy yourself. You don't need less kindness, you need limits.
This is the real power of no sermon, spoken without shouting. Then he said,
For 7 days, don't say yes immediately. Ask yourself, will this hurt my peace? Will this drain me?
If yes, learn to say no motivation without guilt. The next day, Mike rushed over.
Chris, help me move this box.
Chris looked at his broken fence, the fence he had ignored for months. His heart wanted to say yes, but he took a breath and said,
I'm sorry, Mike, today. I need to fix my own fence.
Mike stared in shock.
You're saying no?
Chris nodded. Mike left upset. Chris felt guilty, but he stayed. A few hours later, the fence stood strong, and for the first time in a long time, Chris felt proud. This was the beginning of self-respect, a lesson important for student motivation and adults alike. The next day, neighbors came again. Small favors, small requests. Chris politely refused. That night, he didn't feel used. He felt calm. This is what real discipline and self-control feels like. On the fourth day, another storm came. His roof started leaking. Chris waited for someone to knock on his door. No one came. And instead of anger, he felt strength. He fixed the roof himself. When he finished, he sat quietly and whispered,
So this is what it feels like to rely on myself.
Weeks passed. Chris changed. He stopped running for everyone. He protected his time. He cared for his garden, for his home, for himself. And something unexpected happened. People respected him more. They stopped using him. They learned to solve their own problems. Chris finally learned how to respect yourself and stop being used. Chris laughed again without feeling tired. He felt motivated, not drained. One day, Mr. Johnson visited and smiled.
So, did the world fall apart when you stopped saying yes?
Chris smiled back.
No, my life finally came together.
Mr. Johnson nodded.
When you stopped saying yes to everyone, you finally said yes to yourself. This is the true power of saying no.
So let me ask you now, are you like Chris? Do you give too much? Do you say yes even when it hurts? Remember this, saying no doesn't make you selfish, it makes you strong. It helps you resist pressure, temptation, and distraction. Just like saying no to temptation builds character. Protect your time. Protect your peace.
Because this motivational story in English,
this life-changing story teaches one truth. The world respects you only when you respect yourself first.